Whenever we hear the word bank, we assume that they're working for the welfare of the society, the depositors and the borrowers. Then why do these bank crises or bank frauds or bank run situation takes place? We are going to understand that in this video. Welcome back to our channel. My name is Karnima and today we are going to understand the case of Yes Bank, the crisis that took place in Yes Bank along with AT1 bonds and write-off of AT1 bonds by the Yes Bank. Yes Bank is one of the fourth largest private sector banks in India. It was formed in 2004 by Rana Kapoor and Ashok Kapoor. Its primary business was corporate lending, which means it used to lend to corporate borrowers, to companies, to MSME sector. It had major share in all the UPI transactions as well. What happened? The crisis situation started happening after 2015. But let's come back. In 2008, the bank started following the aggressive lending practices. Rana Kapoor, the CEO of the bank, they were on a lending spree. They started lending to borrowers who did not have good credit worthiness. Without proper due diligence, loans were given to low net worth borrowers at high interest rate. दैट वाज द मेन इशू. ज्यादा इंटरेस्ट रेट पे बहुत सारे लोन्स बोरोवर्स को मिलने लगे विदाउट प्रॉपर ड्यू डिलिजेंस. दैट इज हाउ लेटर ऑन द क्राइसिस सिचुएशन स्टार्टेड हैपनिंग. अब रिगरस लेंडिंग हो रही है, अनस्क्रूपलस लेंडिंग हो रही है. इट इज गोइंग टू शो एन इम्पैक्ट लेटर ऑन, which is exactly what happened. From 2008 till 2015, rigorous lending was taking place. However, in 2015, borrowers started defaulting. They started defaulting on their repayments, which led to increase of NPAs in Yes Bank. They were around 8% NPAs in Yes Bank, which is one of the largest NPAs reported by major other banks at that time. अब क्या हुआ? NPAs बढ़े, profitability of the bank also started reducing, which was known through the return on asset ratio, which means ना income ज़्यादा है, ना ही assets अच्छा perform कर रहे हैं. The assets are turning into non-performing assets. अब NPAs raise कर रहे हैं. The other issue was the under-reporting of NPAs. It was noted that around 3,000 crore of NPAs were not reported by the bank in their balance sheet. The first time it was reported was 2015. अब क्या था? After this, share prices of the bank fell down. From around 400 rupees, it fell to around 43 rupees. इसी से ही समझ आता है crisis like situation हो गई है बैंक में. The bond prices also fell. And the rating companies, the credit rating companies started giving low rating to the securities of the bank and also to the bank. Because of all this that was happening, RBI को पता चला. In 2017, RBI started keeping strict monitoring on the Yes Bank. Finally, in 2020, RBI decided to put Yes Bank in a moratorium. What does this mean? It means that RBI imposed withdrawal restrictions. The depositors that had money deposited in their accounts in the Yes Bank could not withdraw large amount. उस time पे the restriction was put at 50,000 rupees. Everybody could withdraw. That means the depositors, they could withdraw up to only 50,000 rupees from the bank. Emergency situation में ज़्यादा भी ले जा सकते थे. That was the situation. Reconstructing of the bank was decided by the RBI. SBI ने भी बैंक का stake खरीदा. The CEO of the company, that is Rana Kapoor, he resigned. The chairman and the independent directors also resigned. ये सब हुआ 2020 में. The ED, that is Enforcement Directorate, also arrested the CEO of the company, Rana Kapoor. अब एक और केस है बैंक से कनेक्टेड है, that is the AT1 bonds. 2020 के बाद जब बैंक इतने क्राइसिस में था, they were unable to pay back the borrowings that they have taken. One of these borrowings were in the form of AT1 bonds. पहले देखते हैं what are these AT1 bonds. The additional tier 1 bonds. These bonds are issued by the banks to shore up their capital. Basel norms का नाम तो आपने सुना ही होगा. As per Basel norms, RBI says that banks have to keep certain percentage of their capital with themselves. This is in form of tier 1 capital and tier 2 capital. Tier 1 capital में आता है additional tier 1 capital. and AT1 bonds are issued in lieu of that additional tier 1 capital ताकि banks की capital shore up हो सके, वो अपना capital increase कर सके. Every bank issues these AT1 bonds. But why are we studying these AT1 bonds along with Yes Bank? क्या connection है दोनों में, अब वो समझते हैं. So AT1 bonds के कुछ features देखते हैं पहले. These AT1 bonds are सबसे पहले they are perpetual bonds, which means there is no maturity date. Perpetually इन पे repayment bank करता रहेगा. Another feature is they are issued at a very high interest rate, which makes these bonds attractive to the investor. अगर कोई investor है, वो AT1 bonds क्यों खरीदेगा? Because they are giving you very high return. But high return मतलब high risk. अब risk क्या है? सबसे पहला, there is no put option on these bonds, which means the investor cannot go to the bank and sell these back to the banks. However, there's a call option. So the bank can call these bonds. Okay. The second risky situation connected to these AT1 bonds is that in a crisis-like situation, when a bank is unable to pay its borrowings or its bond holders, what the bank can do? The bank can write off these AT1 bonds from their books of account, from their balance sheet. This is exactly what Yes Bank did. Yes Bank wrote off all the AT1 bonds from their books of around 8300 crore के AT1 bonds they wrote off. अब क्या था? Investors को problem होने लगी. Investors went to Bombay High Court. Bombay High Court में केस गया. The Bombay High Court decided that the AT1 bonds will not be written off by the Yes Bank. However, these are permitted under the Basel norms. ऐसी एक guideline है under the Basel norms. Therefore, RBI along with Yes Bank went to the Supreme Court to fight the decision of the Bombay High Court. The case is still in Supreme Court. However, the Supreme Court had put a stay on the decision of the Bombay High Court. Now, there is one more issue that can be asked or one more question that can be raised. कि क्या हमारे पैसे safe है? If we are putting our deposits or maintaining accounts in Yes Bank, is that money safe? The answer is yes. In any bank run situation or a fraud situation or a crisis like situation, what happens is the depositor's money is majorly saved up to 5 lakh rupees. This is under the DICGC, Deposit Insurance Credit Guarantee Corporation. It insures up to 5 lakh of every depositors. तो आपके जितने भी पैसे हैं depositors के जितने भी पैसे किसी भी बैंक अकाउंट में हैं up to 5 lakh, these are safe. This was about the Yes Bank crisis, the AT1 bonds, and the fact that the case has gone to even Supreme Court about these AT1 bonds and write-off of these AT1 bonds. I hope you liked the session. कोई भी problem हो, you can discuss with us or put a comment down below. Thank you.